It's impossible to talk about the nightlife in Nigeria without mentioning the hype culture. And is hype about broke shaming and vulgarism? These are some of the discussions that we are going to be having here in the studio. And joining me for this discourse is a young man who is talented, known for his energetic hyping skills. Go by the name Pella Iyke. How you doing?
I'm fine. As you talk that, you cannot talk about nightlife in Nigeria. I couldn't say this guy will talk about it.
But I know that's what I want to talk about.
I'm fine, my bro. What's up?
I'm good. Thank you for coming. So Pella, everybody knows Pella Iyke when it comes to hype and all that. So tell us, a little bit about yourself, the journey. Was hype always been the thing for you, when you're starting, or you had something you were doing prior to that, and you said, this hype thing is where I want to, place my focus. Can you just give us a backstory?
Okay. First of all, thank you for welcoming to your show. Nice place you have here.
Thank you for coming.
All right. I started stage performing. I don't like calling it hype because it's stage performance. I started stage performing when I was, how old was I? Actually, when I was 11.
Wow.
I performed LL Cool J's Dear Mama. So that's hip hop. And many people may not know, but hype is actually a hip hop culture before it was, let me use the word, before it metamorphosed to whatever is happening in Nigeria right now.
Okay.
So I won't say I was into music, I'm still into music. But anybody who knows the music business knows it is very capital intensive. And it's a gamble, take it or leave it. It's a big gamble. So I advised myself, what can you do that you still make good use of your music talent, which is performing music? And I have the energy. I observed that I get the energy, she understands. So how do I use this and still make money? I said, okay, let me try doing Afrobeats. Did it for some time. Trust me, the returns were not good. Not because the music is not good, but like I said, music is not music. Music is marketing and branding. And that marketing and branding is very expensive. So then I went into hype. But before I went into hype, I did other things. I did business. I sold bread and akara.
Are you serious?
I sold suya. That's no kind of business I don't think I've done. Trading. I went into motivation speaking at the time. I even preached at a church at the time, to be sincere. But all those, things gave me different experiences and knowledge. It kind of made me who I am today, you feel me? Take it or leave it. This is my second professional year as a hype man. You know why I said this here? So that you understand that sometimes the things you go through in life is just preparing you for 90% of what I use on stage. I didn't learn it from hype, I learned it from music. I'm literally just performing Burna Boy's song when the DJ is playing Burna Boy's song. I'm literally performing David's song when the DJ is playing David's song. And when it's on our piano beat, I'm literally creating melodies, which I
I love what you said, giving us a backstory, saying that, you've been involved in all of this trade, and everything that you've picked up at some point in your life has, helped build the Pella brand to what it is today. So Pella, I want to ask you, what is hype to Pella? What is hype in Nigeria? Because I don't understand what we are doing now. So just tell us, for those watching us.
Let me start with what is hype in Nigeria. I was on Instagram, and a post came on one of these blogs, I can't remember the blog, about Dirty December. This girl came in from UK and she was complaining that she was in a club and it was not noisy, that for God's sake, she came to hear Afrobeat, so why is this guy just shouting? And there are a lot of hate comments to the hype culture. Shout out MC Fish, he made a positive comment trying to support hype. But unlike popular opinion, some people would think I would have supported hype, but I did not support it because the girl was saying the truth. Let me tell you something. I'm speaking out of deep emotions here. When I started hype in Warri, everybody told me I'm funny. I'm trying to speak English. Yeah, Pella is trying to, why is he speaking English? You see, I'm saying this because I believe a lot of persons will watch it. And if you're a hype man, or you want to become a hype man, try and have a wider picture of the business. don't limit yourself to this. I don't want to mention anybody's name, but you understand what I'm saying?
You mention names.
No,
That's right. That's what
I will mention names because of the kind of world we live in.
Okay.
But don't limit yourself to this, let me use the word vernacular kind of hype. Let me mention big brands. I told myself something. There's a popular guy that did something and he used Hennessy, right? When Hennessy wanted to sign a hype man, they went for my friend, shout out to him, one of the people who has inspired me, Jerry Schaffer. They went for Jerry Schaffer. Why didn't they go for that guy that literally created a very sweet vibe with Hennessy? It's because Hennessy wants to go to New York for a party and there will be people there. They will not say, because you are coming from Africa, they should play only Amapiano or only Afrobeats. They will play soukous, they play high life, they play pop, disco, jazz. You need to be versatile to be able to handle various genres of music. That's one. Two, I don't know who gave us this, will I call it a lie or a false perspective that you must broke shame somebody to make another person feel better. That's a lie. Let me end it there. Let me not be too emotional.
No, I think that was actually the next question I was going to ask.
That's a lie. You don't have to. In marketing, there's a very popular saying. Let me make it very simple. The one where everybody go understand. If you watch an Omo advert, they're advertising what? Omo. They don't. The other detergent they put beside it. You see, they don't put any name there. Yeah. You don't have to demarket a brand, another brand, to sell your brand. Let's bring it to hype. You don't need to make another person in the club or in the party feel less of himself to make a point that somebody's buying a drink. You don't have to say, they see your mates, see waiting your mates. Really? How is this person a mate? I don't understand. How are they mates?
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel me? How are they mates? For crying out loud. So you don't need to do all those waiting you need for about what are they your table says, bro.
I think I love the fact that you went to this broke shaming thing because that was the next question I was going to ask you. So, what do you think is responsible for this broke shaming? Is he more of the people who come to the clubs? Because I believe in old times, of which I was going to ask you, do you feel like people in the old times rather we had better clubbing experience than we do now? Because when you go to the club normally in the old times, you just buy your drinks, cash your phone. Nobody's stopping the music for one bottle to come in. No, there's no much of a segregation. What do you think has caused this segregation? Is it that the rise in the Yahoo culture or you obviously know what I'm talking about. So what do you think is the cause?
Okay. Let me start by answering the first question you asked, which is, do I think the parties of the 90s and the parties of the early 2000s and even the early 2010 to like 2012, 2014, personally, if a good hype man is on the microphone, I prefer partying now. But if it's not a good hype man, please take me back. I'm a hype man.
Yeah.
But I also say the truth.
Yeah, I like that.
Do you understand me? If I love going out, I'm an outsider. That's crazy.
Yeah, outside.
I also support Burna Boy. Like I'm a Burna Boy fan, so I didn't mean to say.
we get
what I'm saying. Yeah. But I mean, I'm an outsider. Like I love partying. But then, if you check my snap and you follow me on social media, I'm not always outside. It's not because I don't like being outside. It's because what are you really going to listen to? Outside. Do you understand me? Now, that's that. So I don't even answer that question. Yeah, I said if a good hype man and a good DJ, I prefer now. Let me also put it, okay, I think what I'm about to say will also answer the second question. Now, this is what has happened, and I like it personally. It's good for business. This is what happened to nightlife. Every industry grows. That's the truth. Take it or leave it. In the 90s, Afrobeat was not doing as well as it is. Obviously. If not, probably the band would have owned an island somewhere in the Caribbean. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Afrobeat has become, if not the most streamed music genre in the world, I mean, we're exaggerating, but it should be top 4 at least in the world. That has also happened to the Nigerian life scene. People travel from all around the world just for Dirty December. Are you aware?
Yeah.
So they are not coming to actually just dance. You see this offering of music thing, I like it.
Okay.
Like I said, if a good hype man is doing his job. It's good because it makes the business person sell more. It makes the CEO sell more. Another popular complaint people have about nightlife of recent is you can't step into a club if you are not booking a table. It's also good, but this is for every, there are two sides of a coin, right? The other side of the coin, this is it. We have too many copy. People who sell tables and people who should do, it's called drink signage, who should sign a drink, are luxury clubs, not every club. Every club today wants to be a luxury club. Do you understand what I'm saying? You see people lighting, let me not demarcate any brand. But you see people lighting red wine. You see people lighting champagne brands that are not luxury champagne brands. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, everybody wants to act like a luxury nightlife outfit, and they are not there. Why am I saying this? There are places you go to. We are in Warri. There are places you go to in Warri, you know that this place they go, I can't afford a drink here. However, I just want to go there to enjoy myself. You will never complain when they are signing a drink or even when you don't have a table to sit. The problem is when you go to a location or a venue that is not supposed to do those kind of things and they are doing it. That's the problem. There are luxury clubs. There are clubs in Lagos, if you don't book a table of 1 million, you cannot enter. That is their standard.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And if you think that is oppression, it is not. It is just knowing your market. Okay. For example, there are various brands of cars. Not everybody can afford a Rolls. Not everybody can afford a Lambo. Not even everybody can afford a Corolla. That is the truth. So at different stages of life, there are different things you can afford. So what's happening in the nightlife for drink signing, to me personally, my opinion, is not bad. It's just growth. For table reservation, it's just growth. However, I'm begging, if you're a dance club, stop signing drinks. Just play music, let everybody vibe. But if you're a luxury club and you have met the star, I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
I get
not that your people are not buying luxury drinks, but you are just signing drinks. Why are you signing a drink that does not deserve to be
signed?
I didn't mention any brand. That does not deserve to be signed.
So I think I really liked what you said, that there are clubs in Lagos where you don't have a certain amount of money, you can't
step in.
And that was the second question I asked. Okay. What do you think is responsible for that? Are we saying that the average Nigerian or the average man who, has who's a civil servant or has a decent paying job should not go to the club because they don't have that amount of money to party?
That's not what I'm saying.
Just.
I'm saying whether you like it or not.
Or don't you think these table bookings,
I'm answering your question. Let me behave like a pastor. Since the days of John the Baptist, my brother, there has been what is known as class. Even in the Jewish wedding, there was a man referred to as a chairman, as the governor of the party. All fingers will never and shall never and can never be equal. You see, I think the problem is people must understand that I am on earth, and on this earth, there's what is known as class. It exists. You cannot deceive. In a bank, there are people that don't stay on the line. I'm telling you the truth. They just come into the bank and they go straight to the manager's office. In fact, there are people, they say, Alhaji, chief, what do you want today? The guy has not made a transaction. They're asking him, what do you want? It's class, right? I'm going somewhere. So when, as a human being, I get your point too. So I'm trying to answer tell the people the real problem. As a human being, you should not have a low self-esteem. That's what I'll say. Your self-confidence, irrespective of your class at a given time, because speaking with the JS1 must, by his grace, graduate. Do you understand? When you get into a boarding school, if you go to boarding school or you went to a boarding school, when you are in J1, you're a junior student. But by the time you're in SS3, nobody calls you junior anymore. It's life. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you're at that level where you can't step into a club and, spend ₦1 million, you should not feel bad. You should be like me. Because I don't get the money, but I have friends that get the money.
Yeah.
So I will enter the club with my friends. Amen. No, understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So you don't feel bad. You should be happy because you are growing. The mistake, and it brings me to what you said about fraud culture. The mistake we make is you want to be 19 and drive a car of 450 million.
The thief.
Criminal. Dangote started his business. It took Dangote 40 years to be Dangote. 40 years. Do you know what 40 years is?
That's a long time.
And you want to become influential and wealthy in 2 years. It means what you want to do is you want to transfer your wealth or the wealth you want to have from somebody who has already made it. And what are you going to do that? It could be legal if you are very smart, genius like Mark Zuckerberg. It's possible. And it can also be illegal. So there's a lot of room for patience, for self-love, for self-confidence when you want to party in Nigeria today. Also for the ladies, we'll get into this here, my head is burst. Because somebody is spraying 500 naira or 200 naira or even 1,000 naira, you that was simply drinking your Chapman or your cocktail or your smoothie, wherever you are, all of a sudden you discover you can twerk very well and you are. Do you understand what I'm saying? There is a very big need for self-confidence and self-control. Don't be moved. That does not mean class exists. Class exists. For example, we're doing this podcast now. If the governor of Delta State enters here, all this your protocol has been broken. True. Fact. That is what I'm talking about, class. There are people that will walk into a club. You have to stand up. I'm sorry. Or there are places you cannot sit. It's not pride. It's life.
I think you've made salient points. So lastly, what do you feel like is the future of hype in Nigeria? Where do you see hype in the next 5-10 years in Nigeria?
Everything depends on the players. We're all giving credit to Afrobeat, but big shout out to the players of Afrobeat. It's the players. I refuse to lose faith, but it's the players. 2 people cannot build an industry. You can't have only 4 good hype men and you say the hype industry is strong. It's not. It's not. So, for anything to happen in 5 years, we all have to sit up. We all have to sit up. That's what I would say. I can't see any 5 or 10 years. We just have to sit up. We need to stop. Let me say this. We must understand the difference between virality and success. They are 2 different things. You can be viral and unsuccessful. You can be viral. I never say broke. Do you know that Jesus called somebody a rich fool? He was rich and foolish. So you can be viral and not be successful. I don't want to mention any names. But there are people who are trending, but there's no substance to their trend. Do you understand? Don't rush and just say, I want to be. Is the need to rush that making people create crazy madness? Because to simply have a trendy stuff on TikTok today, if you want to have a vibe, it's just to say something very, very vulgar. And trust TikTok ladies, the enablers of rubbish. God, you guys forgive me, but they can enable nonsense. You just understand what I'm saying. No, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
There are good, lyrics, good vibes that have blown. However, okay, let me say it today. I was watching something before I came here. You are at a party. But everything still has to do with the brand you choose to build for yourself. Probably because I know the brand I built for myself, I was not feeling what the guy was doing. But it was just, if you get Ghana weaving, come on for here. If you get Bow Street, stay here. And you could, I'm not joking, you see the girls are really vibing to this. I'm like, I can't do this. No, don't get me wrong. It's good, but I can't do because there is what is known as branding. I believe I should not be seen doing that.
I just hold that thought. Okay. Yeah. So you made something very, very salient and just sparked this question. Do you feel like education plays a big factor in how you perceive what you're doing now? Do you feel like most of these people who do these things are not exposed and they are not educated? Because I feel like maybe because you are educated and you're exposed, and that is why you feel these things are abnormally.
It plays a big factor. However, I want to say something. Education is not going to school. They are two different things. You can go to school and be uneducated. Learning, that's why it's known as continuous learning. Learning is a continuous process. When I started hype, I was pronouncing Mowe as Moet. It's Mowe. It's not Verve Clicquot, it's Verve Clicquot. It's not Bellare, it's Belair. I learned those things just last year. I didn't learn it in school. Continuous learning. It's not Don Julio, it's Don Julio. I didn't learn it in school. Do you get my point? So, and an illiterate, that is somebody who did not go to the four walls of a school and chooses to learn, YouTube will be his best friend. And we even have shine people that have certificates that, do you understand what I'm trying to say? So yes, education, yes, but it's not the kind of, it's not our, do you get where I'm coming from? Yeah. It's not necessarily going to a school and sitting down and saying, okay, I have a first class in English language or a first class in French or a first class in computer science or a first class in, it's continuous learning.
Thank you so much, Pella Iyke. We've had a very insightful conversation. So your last words and final words to those watching you, like who want to party, like you said, but do not have, the money to party. So what would be your advice to them watching you?
My advice is stop seeing a party as a place to compete. See it as a place to network. The people that God has used to change my life, I made them in parties. The 1 million you think is big money, somebody can dash you. People have bought cars for people without sexual strings. I'm telling you, they don't dash me money where shake my leg. It's not, do you understand? It's not, I'm not gay. So he gave me, no, get my point. I'm telling you, no sexual strings. And this is another thing I want to say. I know we're running, but let me say this. When you see successful people, we all know that there are certain illegal things people do. Try and remove that mind of they do something bad first. Remove it first. See the person for who the person is. If you can understand life like this, you would be able to network freely without having bias in your mind. Do you understand what I'm saying? So stop seeing a party as a place to compete, to quarrel, or to go and carry girls. See it as a place to network. That's what I have to say.
Thank you so much, Pella Iyke. And for those of you watching back at home, we want you to join in the conversation. What do you feel about the hype culture in Nigeria? Do you feel like it's going to evolve over time, and do you feel like it is, dent the clubbing life that we've enjoyed in the past years? So let us know in the comment section. We'll be there to have the conversation with you. Thank you so much, Pella Iyke, for joining us. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
All right.